Once Upon a Time, in Hollywood from 2019, is a film that explores the final years of Hollywood's golden age through the lives of a fading television actor, Rick Dalton, and his longtime stunt double and friend, Cliff Booth. Set in 1969 Los Angeles, the film examines themes of nostalgia, transformation, and the collision of personal ambition with cultural change. Quentin Tarantino frames the narrative as both a historical reimagining and a meditation on fame, violence, and the fleeting nature of success. Rather than following a conventional plot structure, the film interweaves multiple character arcs, everyday life, and seemingly mundane interactions to build a vivid portrait of an industry in flux and a city alive with possibility and menace. Rick Dalton is portrayed as a man confronting the decline of his career. Once a leading figure in Western television, he is now relegated to guest appearances and struggling to adapt to new cinematic trends and genres. Dalton's insecurities are compounded by his awareness of Hollywood's shifting landscape and the influx of new talent. He grapples with self-doubt, identity, and the fear of obsolescence, which manifests in nervous behavior, emotional volatility, and reliance on alcohol. Despite these struggles, Dalton exhibits moments of vulnerability and warmth, especially in his interactions with Booth. Their friendship provides stability and insight into his character, highlighting the importance of loyalty and companionship in an industry built on superficial relationships and fleeting recognition. Cliff Booth embodies a contrasting form of resilience. As Dalton's stunt double, he navigates Hollywood's physical and social challenges with calm competence, a wry sense of humor, and understated charm. Cliff is resourceful, loyal, and capable of both charm and violence, yet he remains a peripheral figure in the world he inhabits. His presence provides a grounding influence for Dalton, reflecting an alternative model of success that does not depend on fame or public acclaim. Cliff's interactions with Dalton illustrate the tension between appearance and reality in Hollywood, where public personas often mask deeper truths, and where genuine loyalty is rare. The film also follows Sharon Tate, a rising actress and symbol of innocence, optimism, and emerging cultural change. Tate's presence serves as a counterpoint to Dalton's anxiety and to the darker elements lurking in Los Angeles. Her daily life, including preparations for film shoots and personal routines, is depicted with reverence and care, emphasizing the normalcy and humanity behind her emerging celebrity. Tarantino's portrayal of Tate is deliberately idealized, reflecting both historical reality and fictionalized narrative, creating a sense of tragic anticipation for the audience aware of her fate. Her characterization emphasizes the contrast between Hollywood's glamour and the violence that infiltrated its fringes during the late 1960s. A major thread of tension is provided by the presence of the Manson family, whose incursions into the story evoke a sense of looming danger. Tarantino juxtaposes the serene, vibrant life of Hollywood with the unpredictable and violent chaos of Manson's followers, creating a constant undercurrent of threat. The narrative builds tension subtly, emphasizing ordinary activities and mundane interactions while hinting at extraordinary consequences. This interplay between calm and menace is one of the film's most striking stylistic choices, highlighting the fragility of life and the randomness of fate in the city's shifting social landscape. Dalton's attempts to maintain his career involve auditions, social interactions, and the occasional violent fantasy, illustrating the insecurities faced by actors in an industry obsessed with youth, novelty, and appearance. His struggle is compounded by the judgment and perception of others, particularly agents, directors, and casting personnel. The film portrays these challenges without overt commentary, allowing the audience to witness the pressures of Hollywood life through Dalton's experiences, humor, and occasional self-deprecation. These scenes underscore themes of ambition, self-worth, and the anxiety produced by changing cultural norms. Cliff Booth's subplot involving his interactions with the Manson family, particularly at the Spahn Ranch, becomes pivotal in altering the historical narrative. Booth's quiet competence and practical violence prevent what would have historically been a tragic outcome. In the climactic sequence, Booth and Dalton confront the intruders, resulting in a sudden and brutal reversal of the Manson family's anticipated violence. This sequence is both shocking and cathartic, providing an alternative history in which victims are empowered rather than passive. The violence is exaggerated and stylized, aligning with Tarantino's signature approach, yet it is deeply integrated with character motivations and narrative tension. Tarantino's stylistic choices reinforce the film's themes. Extended sequences of Los Angeles streets, billboards, and nightlife establish both a sense of place and a temporal authenticity. The film uses music and dialogue to evoke 1960s culture, creating a rich tapestry of sensory experience that immerses the audience. Long, observational shots allow character behavior, subtle interactions, and spatial relationships to convey narrative and emotional information without exposition. These choices highlight both the realism of everyday Hollywood life and the constructed nature of cinematic storytelling. The film also examines the psychology of performance and identity. Dalton's moments of vulnerability, including fantasies of violence and heroism, reflect his internal struggle with self-worth and public perception. Booth's stoic composure contrasts with Dalton's anxiety, illustrating different responses to fear, aging, and personal relevance. The juxtaposition of these characters provides insight into how identity is shaped both by self-perception and external expectations. Tate's presence amplifies these reflections, reminding the audience of the fleeting and contingent nature of opportunity and life itself. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood concludes with a sense of resolution and empowerment for Dalton and Booth. They survive the confrontation with the Manson family, symbolically asserting agency in a world otherwise defined by chance and cultural turbulence. The film leaves Tate's narrative intact, honoring her memory while blending historical events with imaginative possibilities. This ending reframes history, creating a meditation on destiny, cultural transformation, and the personal stakes embedded within Hollywood's changing landscape. The film's significance lies in its meticulous recreation of a moment in time, its exploration of fame, ambition, and loyalty, and its blend of historical reality with creative speculation. Through Dalton, Booth, and Tate, Tarantino examines how personal choices, relationships, and courage intersect with historical forces, shaping both individual experience and broader cultural memory. Its tone, pacing, and attention to period detail make it both an homage and a reimagining, offering a reflective perspective on the intersection of life, art, and history. By privileging character nuance over conventional plot mechanics, the film creates a textured, contemplative, and occasionally surreal portrait of Hollywood at a moment of transformation and upheaval.